Hi, thanks for joining me on the Listen Up Girl podcast. I'm your host, Zach Randles-Friedman. Today is Sunday, September the 21st, and I'm bringing you LGBTQ plus news for today. We're going to do our first report in Europe. A new groundbreaking new report has shed light on struggles faced by intersex people. The European Agency for Fundamental Rights surveyed nearly 2,000 intersex individuals across all 27 European countries, plus Albania, North Macedonia, and Serbia. The findings paint a sobering picture. Intersex people are facing rising violence, harassment, and discrimination in nearly every aspect of life, from healthcare to education to the workplace. The report also highlights how lack of visibility leaves intersex people vulnerable. The report also highlights how the lack of visibility leaves intersex people vulnerable, with many reporting they feel unsafe being open about who they are. Advocacy groups are calling on European governments to adopt stronger anti-discrimination laws, improve training for healthcare providers, and include intersex voices in policymaking. They say the findings prove the urgent action is needed to ensure that intersex people can live safely and authentically. Next, we have some good news in Hong Kong. A court ruling is being hailed as a major step forward for LGBTQ families. A lesbian couple won parental recognition for their son, who was born through reciprocal IVF, a process where both partners play a role in conception. While Hong Kong does not currently allow same-sex marriage, the decision acknowledges the parental rights of both women, providing their family with legal security. While Hong Kong does not currently allow same-sex marriage, the decision acknowledges the parental rights of both women, providing their family with legal security many queer families in Asia still lack. LGBTQ activists in Hong Kong say the ruling could set an important precedent, pushing courts and lawmakers towards greater recognition of same-sex couples. Though same-sex marriage may remain out of reach for now, this case demonstrates how progress can still be made through incremental legal victories. So yay for Hong Kong. In the UK, nearly 700 businesses have come together to propose changes to Equality and Human Rights Commission Code of Practice. The draft rules would allow service providers to demand to see a birth certificate if they suspect someone is transgender. Companies including Ben & Jerry's, Lush, and Mighty Hoopla signed an open letter saying that the proposal would undermine workplace equality, create hostile environments, and make public spaces unsafe for trans people. The letter also warned that the move could damage the UK economy by pushing out LGBTQ talent and harming the country's reputation abroad. Business leaders say the government has the power to stop these changes, and they are urging lawmakers to act before irreversible harm is done. And that is coming from Pink News. Next, pop icon Madonna is preparing a massive return to the dance floor. She confirmed she will release Confessions Part 2 in 2026, a direct sequel for her 2005 album Confessions on the Dance Floor. That record, packed with hits like Hung Up and Sorry, remains one of her most acclaimed albums. For the sequel, Madonna is reuniting with the producer Stuart Price, who crafted the original disco-inspired sound. On social media, she told fans, back to music, back to the dance floor, back to where it all began. After years of experimentation with different genres, the Queen of Pop is promising a return to her roots, and fans are already buzzing with anticipation. I cannot wait. I'm sure it's going to be an amazing record because she always does amazing things. Next, singer Demi Lovato is also celebrating authenticity with her new music. In a recent Paper magazine interview, she reflected on growing up in Texas where religious shame made her fear her own identity. She said that coming out gave her freedom, safety, and a sense of belonging in queer spaces, and she's channeling that joy in her upcoming album, It's Not That Deep. Lovato described the album as club-ready, uplifting, and designed to celebrate queer life and community. She said, queer people have a way of living so authentically that it makes me feel I can live authentically. For Lovato, music is not just a personal outlet. It's a way to build joy and solidarity. And Broadway is about to make history. Beloved drag performer Bob the Drag Queen, who went on Madonna's latest celebration tour, has announced a debut on Broadway. With details about the production remain under wraps, theater insiders say the move is long overdue. Drag artistry has always influenced theater and performance, but Bob's arrival on Broadway signals a new level of mainstream recognition. Excuse me. Drag artistry has always influenced theater and performance, but Bob's arrival on Broadway signals a new level of mainstream recognition. Fans are calling it a breakthrough moment, proof that drag belongs not just in nightclubs and television, but in one of the world's most prestigious stages. Next, in the US, a new Gallup poll shows that LGBTQ identification has reached record highs. Overall, 9.3% of Americans now say there's something other than heterosexual, nearly triple the rate from 2012. But generational divide is striking. Among Generation Z, nearly 1 in 4 people identify as LGBTQ, and nearly 1/3 of women in that group say they are queer. Bisexuality is the most common identity, particularly among young women. The survey found that 4% of Gen Z identifying as transgender, as is a much higher rate than older generations. Gallup CEO said the U.S. could come across the 10% threshold nationwide within just a few years, marking a dramatic cultural shift in openness and self-expression. Next, not such great news. Tampa Pride has announced it will cancel its 2026 festival and parade, citing financial strain and the rollback of diversity under Governor Ron DeSantis. Organizers say they hope to regroup and return in 2027, but admitted the loss will be deeply felt by the community and local businesses. That is really sad. I just can't believe that a city that is like Tampa is actually canceling Pride. There's so many LGBTQ plus people there. What? That's horrible. DeSantis sucks. Next, rapper Lil Nas X has entered an out-of-state treatment program after his arrest last month in Los Angeles. A judge modified his release terms to allow him to get care, but the details of his treatment remain sealed. The move follows weeks of speculation about his health and well-being, reported by Rolling Stone. And in Washington, Oregon Congresswoman Maxine Dexter made headlines during debate on the National Defense Bill. She placed a pride flag on the House. She placed a pride flag on the House rostrum in defiance of a Republican amendment banning such displays at U.S. military facilities. While colleagues objected, Dexter refused to back down, saying, "I'm not waiving it, Mr. Speaker." She called the amendment cruel and callous and accused Trump and his allies of scapegoating LGBTQ community. And that source was from C-SPAN. And that is my news for today on Sunday, September the 21st. Thanks so much for listening. If you have not subscribed to my podcast, please do. It's available on all of your favorite podcast platforms. Also, check out my other podcasts, Everything and Anything and a Bit Gay, where I have some amazing guests that I've interviewed that have very inspiring and fun stories. Thanks so much for listening, and talk to you later in the week with more LGBTQ plus news. Thanks.